in view. We are living the digital era, and mostly we are dependent on most of our current living systems is more towards to artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence involved in many different technical areas, in especially in our today online transactions and everything. Okay, to be more secure. If you want to more secure on our online transmissions, online work, everything currently in our work more towards to technically online based one. So how to secure the online transmissions or online communications, either it may be financially or maybe any other communications, and how the artificial intelligence may involve in cyber security, especially for the computer systems network administration level. Okay, so first of all, what do you mean by artificial intelligence, and what do you mean by machine learning, and how this artificial intelligence and machine learning to be adapted in cyber security part? Okay, so everyone knows very well artificial intelligence, a software that becomes aware of its own existence and can make thoughtful decisions. Okay, this is given by Rick Howard, CSO for Alto Networks. And what are the definitions of machine learning? A software development technique used to teach a computer to do a task without explicitly telling the computer how to do it. This one from Sam Dargold, the co-founder of the Voice of Machine Learning journal. Okay, and machine learning cyber security systems can analyze the pattern, how the system going to analyze the patterns and learn from them to help prevent the similar attack maybe from any sites, either by web oriented or maybe different way. Okay, so to help prevent the similar attacks and respond to changing behavior. In short, the machine learning can make cyber security simpler, more proactive, and less expensive and far more effective. This artificial intelligence, maybe a little bit we can go from the beginning of the era. Actually, this one starting from Dartmouth College. Okay, in 1950. Normally, right now we call the father of artificial intelligence. His name is John McCarthy. He is the inventor the one workshop, especially for the artificial concept, and he written a one small programming of artificial intelligence. Okay, from there the artificial intelligence concept is expanded, and in right now that one is achievable in different way of height. Okay, so from the artificial intelligence, the subset of the one should be a machine learning. In Google definitions, maybe you can see the one. Machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence that provide the computers with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs that can teach themselves to grow and change when exposed to a new data. Okay, and right now the artificial intelligence, from the artificial intelligence machine learning. So from the machine learning itself, the data analytics, especially for the big data, everyone knows, am I right? So the big data, especially for how the data to be analysis for the processing of the machine learning procedures. So the data analysis is a process of inspecting and cleansing, transforming data migration, okay, transforming and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information and suggesting the conclusions and supporting the decisions making. So finally, the decisions making to be involved. Okay, and in cybersecurity is the body of technologies and process and practices designed to protect the networks, computers and programs and data from the attack. It may be DOS or DDoS I think a lot of attack is there. Maybe I can very short one. Okay, so the damage or unauthorized access, either it may be a unauthorized persons or any unknown the person to be included in our original data in terms of data and privacy. So in a computing context, the security includes both cyber security and physical security. So how these all combine together, machine learning, data analytics, and cyber security technologies. So the machine learning has been quickly adopted in cyber security for its potential to automate the detection and prevention of attacks. So machine learning, how we are going to adopt it in cyber technologies techniques means is one of the main potential, okay, for especially for the automation to detect and prevention of attack. That is a diagnosis, detections and preventions, particularly for next generations antiviruses. That is called NGAV product. So machine learning models in next generation antivirus have fundamental advantages compared to traditional antiviruses, including the higher likelihood of identifying novel zero-day attacks and targeted the malware and increased difficulty of evasions and continued efficacy during the prolonged offline period. So these all the one finally come to the one, especially to form a one fundamental potential way of technology to improve. So artificial intelligence, that is the concept of artificial intelligence. Maybe you can check the analogies to the human brain, how human one. So artificial intelligence is the concept of creating a smart intelligence machines. Maybe you can see the diagram here from where to where the level to be covered. Okay, machine learning is a subset. Okay, is a subset means it's a substances of the main of artificial intelligence. It's a subset of artificial intelligence that help you to build a artificial intelligence driven applications. And the deep learning means is a subset of machine learning. So it's a order by order basis, not AI, from AI to machine learning, from machine learning to deep learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses the vast volume of data and complex algorithm to train a model. Okay, so especially for deep learning, mostly is involving for the as for the NLP. In NLP way, they are doing for more complex based algorithms. This is the artificial intelligence technology landscape. The artificial intelligence technology landscape is the hub. From the hub itself, so many field of may involve in efficiently. Okay, for example, autonomous systems and machine learning, deep learning, neural network, and pattern recognitions, NLP, natural language processing, and chatbots, real-time emotion analysis, that is RTEA, and virtual companions, real-time unusual transactions, and thought-controlled gaming, next generation's cloud robotics, autonomous surgical robotics, and robotic personal assistants, and cognitive cyber security, and neuromorphic computing. So my part in this all the aspect of the AI expanding the level of landscape. Now I am focusing only for the cyber security part. There is a cognitive of cyber security how. This one everyone knows as a malware. Okay, this is the sophisticated malware spreading from every 1 minute and 15 minutes and 30 minutes. This is the latest survey, okay, from the research and analytical survey of national securities ethical part from US. Okay, so this is the one what they're telling to us. The new infection of malware in every 3 seconds. After, if it is 1 minute, it should be 2021 instances may occur. Within 50 minutes times, it may be the volume is very high. So 9,864 instances, and within 30 minutes times, 45,457 instances is spreading all over the world. Okay, so Now we are in the critical positions. Okay, sometimes we don't know our usage of either to be a commercial or non-commercial web-oriented applications. It may be affected. Okay, it may be affected, or affected means either not only for the malware concept, some unauthorized or non-authentication persons also to involve in our to protect the data. So these are happening right now. So from these situations, how we are going to protect our data and secure our work. Malware spreads extremely quickly if left unchecked. Is one of the wildfire is the same piece of malware spread over rapidly. Wildfire is a malware analysis engine. Okay, with the wildfire malware analysis engines, maybe the wildfire leverages cloud-based malware detections. This one, the analysis engine right now, every corporate companies, every academic portal, everything we are using right now, cloud computing for the storage and everything for each to access. So especially in cloud computing, also in cloud, okay, the data we cannot give the guarantee whether it's 100% secure or not. So how this the security will be provided? So still the research going on, still the implement going on, day by day. The research still not the completion level. Okay, so this one, the wildfire leverages the cloud-based malware detections, inline machine language, and multiple analysis techniques to identify and protect against the unknown file-based threat. Okay, so such a way we need for some additional part of the technologies to prevent the one. So 2021 instances of the same malware seen after just 1 minute. So just you can imagine now. Within 1 minute time, 2021 instances can found. Okay, it could be founded by the wildfire. Okay, same thing for 9,864 instances. So it is not an imaginable one. Okay, we can just imagine how the profile, the single piece of malware becomes after 24 hours. Organizations cannot afford to wait to manually mitigate the. So another one more thing. Do you know how fast WannaCry moved? WannaCry is an example of cryptography ransomware. In cryptology, normally we say in cryptography, okay, cryptology or cryptography. In cryptography, generally we maybe I hope you learn encryptions and decryptions and everything. Even though in encryptions we use so many high complex algorithm, let's say for AES, Advanced Encryption Standard, 3DS, Advanced Data Encryption Standard, then the cycle may be 3 cycle or 4 cycle, but finally still the data may be corrupted. Okay, in middle of the transmission. So the WannaCry is an example of crypto ransomware, a type of malicious software used by cyber criminals. Okay, right now the new name after I think within the 20 years period, a new name called. Earlier the criminals may be different name they call, but nowadays those criminals, generally the world record says very less compared to the cyber criminals. So day by day the cyber criminals activities is increased. Okay, so to the cyber criminals to extract the money. Okay, so the ransomware is by either encrypting valuable files so you are unable to read them, or by locking you out of your computer so you are not able to use it. Okay, so this is the one of the little bit paragraph for the awareness purpose. From Friday morning 12th May 2017 to Friday evening 12th May, the WannaCry was routed in more than 150 countries. So almost 95% of the countries almost occupied by the WannaCry, and it had affected more than 4 lakhs machines. That is a 90% had Windows 7. So the criminals behind the WannaCry were able to string together on amateurish piece of ransomware on NSA, National Security Agencies. They developed an exploit they made available to anyone inclined to use it. So thanks to the shadow brokers leak and all. Okay, so an easy to use. Come back. a framework for deploying that exploit. Okay, that is also included in the leak, and a simple home component to launch the biggest ransomware outbreak in the history. So this was not the work of for criminal masterminds. It was not even that sophisticated or advanced, and the damage it has was still staggering. So this is the situation is currently is going on now. Okay, so more research, even though for artificial intelligence involved in several area. Okay, even for healthcare, robotics, surgery, automation systems, whatever it may be, but still the research more in the world. Recently, I studied one of the journal. Okay, from the UK based one. They mentioned like that most of the people right now, the artificial intelligence, they move towards to cyber. So that is a cyber security part for the enhancing the systems, how to make it, because of our life also entirely changed compared to last 30 years. Okay, last 30 years our life entirely changed right now. From the future, from current question to from the features, we don't know how much the changes will come over. Okay, that's why maybe 2 minutes I will take. Sometimes I have the opportunity to, I think Madam also like that. We have the opportunities because of your generations. You can't see the olden type of computers. Now you are enjoying everyone 2.5 gigahertz, 8 MB like this. That time we started 1991. Still I remember. That's why sometimes in my students I explain all those things. See, this is the level of technology and how the technology is right now. Okay, that time it's very rare to see 20 megahertz PC. Right now you are in 2.5 gigahertz. That time 20 megahertz also is very rare. Okay, gigahertz. So same thing for the hard disk. That time the hard disk also 100 MB, 150 MB only, but now you are using for tremendous growth, 1 TB. So these are the technology changing, even though for our normal lifetime also changed. So now we are in different era. Okay, that's why we need more protection. Another one more part, the AV test, everyone knows, AV means antivirus. So the AV test is an independent organizations which evaluate and rate the antivirus and security suit the software for Microsoft Windows and Android operating systems. Okay, and phone one, I think maybe most of them had about. Okay, this is the institute was founded in 2002 by Dr. Larry Fonmon and headquartered in Michigan. The Fonmon Institute is considered the preeminent research center dedicated especially for cybersecurity. So now how they advanced. In 2002 itself also they developed an institute to do some research only for the data privacy and data protections and information security and policy only. Okay, now the year is 2022. So 20 years back, they think about it, the futures. Okay, just imagine. So, but mostly all the mobile-based transactions, online-based transactions, only happening within the 10 years times only. But before 10 years, maybe everyone right now very familiar with the mobile transaction, everything from after 2009 or 2008, something like this. But 2002 itself, I think that maybe really we have to appreciate and the genius. She founded the institute especially to do the research for the data protection and information securities. So I think most of the journals is come out from this institute, and they have to, I think it's very pioneer one for those who are willing to do your research area. You may refer the Fonmon site. Okay, so the AV test 2017 is more than 9 million new instances of malware are seen in per month. Just imaginable. 9 million malware is detected, okay, by the AV test 2017. In Fonmon, in 2018 record, a huge increase in fileless attacks. Okay, in 2018, more than 35% of all the attacks are fileless. Fileless means exploits, macros, and all. Okay, which means that the user doesn't have to download a malicious file. So these are all the scenarios. Okay, and we are living in such type of dangerable zone. Okay, so we have to come out from this dangerous zone with the help of artificial intelligence. So this is the from the critical review on analysis of the cyber securities. Okay, that's why they need the recent trends of artificial intelligence is come over. So the cyber securities next step is a market map. 80 plus companies securing the future with artificial intelligence. So most of the very pioneer and well cooperated companies, okay, they have to move, okay, to artificial intelligence concept. So these are the company list. Finally, the artificial intelligence systems for real-time threat detections. How the artificial systems, because the real-time threat detections is very important. Am I right? Otherwise, the real-time threat, if we never detected, it may be spoil entire systems. So the machine learning has the power to comprehend the threats in real time. So to understand the infrastructure of a company from a threat detection perspective, the machine learning is a game changer. So the ML is one of the main game changer, especially in the cybersecurity role, especially for reducing the false positives and all. So machine learning for cybersecurity. Again, I'll come back to recap. A broad concept, a science of making things in smart way, or other words, the human task performed by machines. Okay, so this is the AI part. ML, machine learning, is also one kind of approach. Okay, just one of many approaches is there. Already I told you. Sorry, excuse. Already I told you. ML is a subset of AI. Okay, so to AI that uses a system that is capable of learning from the experience. Okay, and the DL part, deep learning, is also a subset of machine learning part, a set of techniques for implementing machine learning that recognize the pattern or the patterns like image recognitions by using the complex oriented algorithms. Okay, so we can go through the intersection of the union part of the one. So machine learning is from the data science and classical programming and data mining. So it's been considered for the algorithms and features and data. So it's a intersecting part of the one. So this is the AI technology landscape. Already explained. This is the from different route of the diagrams, so I can skip it. The machine learning algorithms. In machine learning, lot of algorithm is there. Okay, but in cyber security, mostly they are using the 5 cluster part. Okay, not all the one. From so many algorithms using in machine learning, but all the algorithms not going to be implemented in cyber security technologies. So in cyber security, this ancient philosophy, okay, I want to tell here, Chinese philosophy, okay, it's a Chinese philosophy. This one I took from Google also. Chinese philosophy, yin and yang, represents how the seemingly opposite poles can complement each other and achieve the harmony. I think it's a very nice proverb. Okay, it's a philosophical proverb. So in cybersecurity, this ancient philosophy perfectly represents the relationship between supervised and unsupervised machine learning. Okay, for example, monitored the machine learning process can be used for detection, while unsupervised machine learning uses for clustering. Okay, so here the monitored machine learning process for detection purpose. Okay, that is a non-monitor, that is a unsupervised machine. Okay, unsupervised machine learning uses for clustering. So these both will involve to achieve our requirement. That's why the Chinese proverbs will satisfy the one to make a harmony. Am I right? So in this case of cyber security and data security, the research and development, the monitored machine learning is often implemented in the form of machine learning algorithm. So these are all the machine learning algorithm, Bayesian algorithms, dimensionality reduction part, clustering, and ensemble and regularizations and regressions, rule systems, neural network, deep learning, instance-based, and decision tree. So these are, that's why machine learning is a complex one. In complex one, lot of complex algorithm is there. Okay. Most of the tasks are subclasses of the most common ones, which are described below. Okay, so these are the 5 most common one adapted from the machine learning algorithms and to be implemented in cyber security technology part. Okay, so what are the 5 most common uses? One, the first one from the previous slides, already I put up the previous slides. The lesson is here, right? One of the algorithm pattern regressions by here. So the regressions are predictions. Okay, a task of predicting the next values based on the previous values. So generally, it's a prediction part. Okay, the prediction part may be how the what about the next value. So the next value is maybe depends on the previous value or not. So such a way is considered a predicted one. Okay, this is a predicted one. That is called the regression part. The next one, next algorithms, the common task classifications. A task of separating things into different categories. Separating things into different categories. Okay, that's why classifications to be needed because of decomposition part. And clustering, similar to the classifications, but the classes are unknown, or grouping things by their similarity. So clustering means what now? It's a group based activities. So in clustering, we make it a classes unknown one part, another some way to make it all the entity of the one, make it a group based on the similarity point of view. Okay, that is a clustering point. And next one, association rule learning. Okay, in association rule learning is considered a recommendation. Okay, recommendations, a task of recommending something based on the previous experiences. Okay, everyone also we are using our human life. Okay, right. Dimensionality reductions, the generalizations, a task of searching common and most important features in multiple examples. That is called dimensionality reduction. And the last one, it is a generative models, a task of creating something based on the previous knowledge of the distributions. So these are all the most of the tasks mainly involved. These are the subclasses. Okay, as per AI, machine learning is the subset. So these are the subclasses mainly involved and adapted to the security. So in machine learning, task and cybersecurity. So the first one, a regression part. Regression means already here. Task of predicting the next value on the previous value. Okay, right. So the machine learning, task and cybersecurity regressions, it can be applied to fraud detections. Okay, normally the regressions can apply in cybersecurity for fraud, okay, fraud detection part. So the features, the total amount of suspicious transaction, okay, locations, and furthermore, and etc. Determine a probability of fraudulent actions. Okay, so this subset mainly using the machine learning part, especially for the fraud detections, based on some deterministic of probabilities part. And classifications, a spam filter separating the spam from other messages. That's why classification means to classify. To classify means to separate the one from the known to unknown, or from the known to one, or from the grouping to similar one. Okay, so a spam filter separating the spam from other messages can serve as an example. So the spam filters are probably the first machine learning approach applied to cybersecurity task. And association rule learning, maybe you can refer the one association rule learning means what? Task of recommending some things, okay, based on the previous experience, right? Machine learning or incidents response, okay, once it happened, what the response. So the three things involved in machine learning task, okay, it is a regressions, classification techniques, and association rule of subset. So the three subsets mainly involve three dimensionality, okay. This is also one of the algorithms in AI based subset. Why, what, how, okay. Basically the three things is determined for everyone, also our human life also, okay. Why, what, and how. The security task can be divided into 5 categories: prediction, prevention, detection, response, and monitoring. So most of the cyber security, okay, automation systems to monitor the web oriented applications, okay, currently they are designing or designing and to be designed with a minimum 5 categories, okay. That is number one, prediction. Predictions is one of the mandatory part. Same way, once it's predicted, okay, then how we are going to do the prevention part. And even though if prevention is done, but something may be happening in different way of illegal way of operations, okay. So the detection part, one, if it is detection means how we may given the response, the incident response, okay. And finally we need to have a monitoring purposes. So prediction, preventions, and detections, response, and monitoring, these are the 5 mandatory categories applied in cybersecurity via machine learning. The second dimension is a technical layer and an answer to the what questions. What, okay? Here what, how, why. Am I right? So network, second dimension, network traffic analysis and intrusion detections, okay? Network traffic analysis, most of the corporate enterprises network, okay, currently they are monitoring the network analysis, how the traffic from one server to another server. Let's say for example right now in India, maybe for I say only any one of the ABC bank, okay. So the ABC bank has a lot of its data center, okay, maybe from different data center, maybe for regional wise, and finally all the data center to be distributed and shared in one cloud place, okay. And this one maybe sharing to from one country server to another country server. So these all the chain reaction of distributed sharing part. So now from maybe you can take the example of MasterCard or Visa card also no moment, okay. So MasterCard, Visa card is here, has a lot all over the countries, they have a branches, okay. So any one person, they have a MasterCard, they can ship anywhere, wherever he want. So once you ship, automatically what happened? The card issuing in one place, but you are going to ship in another country. So how the transactions go through? So whenever you're going to ship the card from that server, okay, from that location of the server, transfer to the receiving place of the server. So from one server to another server, it may be within the state or within the district or within the region or within the country, okay. So come to here finally, the network traffic analysis means sometimes you ship the transaction. If the time, maybe the transmission delay, the propagation delay, if you check more than actually the transmission delay is not more than 10 to the power of -9, is nanoseconds. If it is more than nanosecond means definitely the system maybe because some error, or and maybe you can ship the one, maybe you can wait too long, 30 minutes, 1 hour, it's not a worth, okay. So that's why every corporate concerns right now, they are monitoring their network traffic, how, okay, whether our companies and data movement as per the bandwidth and speed from this server to this server, whether properly moving or not, or any from one this server to server A to B, okay, Tokyo to Singapore, okay, so Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, okay, Kuala Lumpur to Delhi, okay, from Delhi to again Colombo, maybe the connection may be a little bit problem. So they have to identify, okay, that is called the network traffic analysis. So many softwares are also available in the market, and some maybe for the student project also you can download some of the open source software available right now if you want to do your final year project. Okay, so come back here. So that is the one, the network traffic analysis and the intrusion detection. Normally in cyber security we call IDS and PDS. Okay, IDS means intrusion detection systems. Another one more concept, intrusion prevent systems. Okay, so the intrusion detection system, especially in information cyber security, how to detect the one. Okay, especially for the unauthorized or unauthorized person to intrude in any one of the either company or personal informations they want to retrieval. Okay, so this one, how the intrusion detection part. This is also maybe they can use a lot of heavy ranged firewall settings and everything. But even though we apply the IDS PDS concept, how the traffic analysis. So the traffic analysis is very, very important. Okay, especially for the cyber securities. Let's say if it is the traffic is over jam. Okay, then how the AI systems maybe they would implement it, and how to solve the path to identify the different route to proceed. Maybe I think that in this workshop, maybe someone have networking students, you are familiar with the virtual packet data transmissions and datagram one. Okay, so the especially in ISO OSI layer, the network layer 3, okay, network layer 3 to identify the route, especially for the IP packet. So when going to identify the IP packet, whether which route is more available, in case if the route maybe P to R become is more traffic, means how the packet to be diverted. Okay, so these are the things to be analyzed with the help of machine learning to make a network traffic analysis, and how to the way of routing. They are going to use the machine learning languages in terms of to identify the route, and wherever the route is more complex, and they have to identify the different route, not going to wait too long the same affected the route itself. So these are written in routing based coding. Okay, in for the routing table. Come back. So the endpoint is an anti-malware, and applications wise, what applications technically using. So most of the applications generally for WAF. Okay, WAF means web applications firewall. I think that one L is missing. Web applications firewall, or it may be a database firewall. Firewall also different categories that currently they are using network securities. Maybe in maybe I'm here in Malaysia, the same telling. Recently also some of the here mostly the firewall is 6,000 ringgit to I think the 1 ringgit maybe 20 something like this for approximately. Okay, actual rate is 18, but if for easy purpose to calculate, we make it 20. So from normal firewall, okay, firewall has a that is a DMS zone, local and the outside one. Okay, so if you go for firewall, depends on the how many users you are going to use the one. If it is a one organization, maybe for 100 people, 1,000 people, or how the organization going to access what type of applications, web oriented one. So these are the one deterministic to purchase the firewall. Okay, some firewall may cost. Actually, firewall is a different firewalls available. Hardware enabled firewall, software enabled firewall, and both hybrid firewall also available now. But the very first, very fantastic one should be for the detection and prevention, means it's a hardware based firewall. Okay, so that hardware based firewall, the banking sector, or they are using for mainframe computers. They are using for more than in our cost. It may be 10 lakh, 15 lakh. Also is available is there. Okay, so it's very important to which firewall to support. So these are all the one also the second dimensional part of technical layer. Currently we are facing the one, even though we put the higher end firewall, but still the fraudulent may happening. Okay, next one for the user, depends on the user how they using the part of the technical things, and process is an anti-fraud. So these are all the one. The second dimension is a technical layer of the answer for what need machine learning, what we need for machine learning for this one, what we need machine learning for endpoint, what we need machine learning for applications oriented related WAF part like this. Okay, third dimensions of how. Okay. Example, how to check a security of a particular area. So the third dimensions is a question of how. So how to check a security of a particular area, that is in transit in real time or at rest. Real time is the dynamic one, the data on movement. Okay, sometimes using the DHCP way. Okay, the DHCP dynamic host configuration protocol shipping part, or it may be a rest or historically, or maybe from the previous historical data to be question how. So these are the things to determine the factor. So the machine learning for network protections, the regression means already told you, that is from the previous one, predicting from the previous one. Okay, so the regression to predict the network packet parameters and compare them with the normal ones. Okay, so network packet means generally the messages will be broken into packet by packet. Okay, and each packet should have a header and frame, data frame, padding, payload, and everything. Maybe these are the one you studied. Okay, that is called a frame. Okay, from that frame again go to the physical layer. Okay, from the, that is a data link network layer to data link layer to physical layer by the raw material of 1 and 0, 0 and 1 will be transmitted. So this part, how that is the regression means predict the network packet parameters and compare them with the normal one. So machine learning to predict the packet parameters, how many packet in this this amount of volume of packet can be transmitted to this amount of time. So maybe if this amount of time may be taken means how long time to taken for the entire one. So these are the one maybe as per the calculations. Okay, the route may be identify the easiest path to achieve the one, and classifications to identify the different classes of network attacks such as scanning and sweeping, IP scanning. Okay, most of the people right now they are going through IP attack and sweeping everything. So these also identified them with the help of machine learning. They have to identify the attack from IP address via sweeping point. So they have to identify and make a classifications, and clustering for forensic analysis. Okay, finally you have to make a similarity data for the particular one. That is called a analyzing purpose. It is called forensics analysis in digital way. And machine learning for endpoint protection, regression to predict the next systems call for executable process and compare it with the real ones. Okay, and classifications to divided programs into such categories as malware, spyware, and ransomware. Malware, every instance may be happening. Maybe any commercial website you can go the one. Ransomware is a crypto criminals using the one, and spyware also same like malware. It can be one kind of very slowly to attack the entire systems. Okay, so for clustering for malware protections on secure email gateways. Okay, in such a way the clustering may be way of the cluster to make a grouping one. So malware protections on secure email gateway, secured maybe secured email categories under ICMP. Okay, internet control message protocol way. Okay, to control the gateways. Example to separate the legal file attachment from the outliers. Machine learning for application security to remind you the application security can differ. Okay, there are web application databases, ERP, enterprise resource planning systems, and SaaS. SaaS application means most toward to cloud computing. Okay, so it's a SaaS, it's a cloud computing, and microservices, so etc. It is almost impossible to build a universal ML model to deal with all the threats effectively in near future. ML can be applied as below. Represents to detect anomalies in HTTP requests, hypertext transport protocol. For example, XXE. XXE means XML. Okay, there is extended markup language, external entity injection part. Okay, that is the one. XXE means external entity injection part to apply the website. Okay, also known as XXE is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interface with an application's processing of XML data, extended markup language data. So because of XML and HTML, okay, HTML maybe just one little bit far away from here. Why I'm telling, HTML is a defined one. You cannot change the coding part for the once you are going to develop any web-oriented programming part. But XML is a customized one. We may change whatever we want according to our designing way. But here in the HTTP requires more towards to, so whenever you go for the XML based web related applications, definitely we need for the machine learning to protect and detect and preventions must be needed. Such a way they are using for XXE and all. And so the is a web security vulnerability that allows the attacker to interface with an application processing of XML data. And SSRF means server side request forgery. Okay, another one more thing, CSRF is there. CSRF is not much more involvement. Okay, CSRF means client side request forgery. But here, especially for server side request forgery is one of the major one. Okay, everyone going to the one. That's why the SSRF attacks and authentications through bypass. So the classifications to detect the known types of attacks like the injections, SQL, structured query language, instruction I, XSS, and RCE, etc. So these are the tools maybe they are going to use for the classifications detection way in the machine learning part. And finally, in ML can be applied clustering user activity, the DDoS attack. Okay, DDoS attack means man in the middle attack, or after the man in the middle attack, it goes to denial of services, and further the distributed denial of services attack and mass exploitations. Okay, so the cluster activities can detect which one, the machine learning based clustering part of the detections can able to identify and detect the attacks of DDoS attacks also can be possible. So AI in cyber security. So faster, that is the one I think that in cyber securities, you can see here now, faster detection, phishing detections, behavioral analytics. Okay, so the faster detection means network security. This one for network in phishing detection part. Phishing means what now? Secure authentications. Okay, and behavior analytics means that is a preventing online fraud. Okay, most of the online fraud from the online one to be prevented by the behavior analytics. So the three things mainly involved in this cyber securities. Okay, a detection part, it is a biometric concept or something like this. Then phishing in terms of authentications. Okay, and finally for the analytics, behavior analytics. Machine learning for process the behavior, the recursion to predict the next user action and detect the outliers such as a credit card fraud and everything. So the classifications to detect known types of fraud. So clustering to compare the business process and detect the outliers. Three things mainly involved. Even though so many clusters in machine learning, but in cyber security, they are using only, maybe you can see from all the slides. Okay, these three things only is repeating from everything. There is the regressions, classifications, and clustering point. Intrusions, deep learning in cyber security. Now the machine learning part almost finished. Okay, here machine learning, the AI part of cyber security. Now the deep learning, how? Deep learning in cyber security is, deep learning means is more towards to complex oriented algorithms. Okay, a subset of machine learning. So the deep learning cyber security is intrusion detections and prevention system, that is called IDS and IPS. The deep learning convolutional neural networks, CNN, and the recurrent neural networks RNN. Okay, so deep learning between the CNN part, convolutional neural network, and recurrent neural network how can be applied to create a smarter intrusion detections and intrusion prevent the systems. So mostly from the conventional network, neural network into recurrent neural network. So the recurrent neural network mainly they are using for deep learning complex oriented algorithms, okay, especially for to prevent the unwanted, unintruded activities by the way of the tools that is called IDIP, okay, intrusion detections and intrusions preventions. And dealing with the malware, how? Traditional malware solution such as a regular firewall detect the malware by using a signature-based detection systems. That is normally the traditionally still going everywhere. Okay, so traditional malware means solutions such as a regular firewall. Okay, the regular firewall normally generally for what? To detect the malware by using a signature-based detection system based on the one. But the deep learning algorithms are capable of detecting more advanced threats and are not reliant on remembering known signatures and common attack patterns. Clear now? I think that now deep learning how involved, okay, especially for one. The traditional one can detect only based on a signature-based detection system only, not other things. Okay, let's say for example, now if we put A, only can detect if already in signature-based A means this signature-based the traditional one only can check A only. That's all. If different form of A may coming, repeated changes, it cannot be detected. But that's why the deep learning algorithms may use, okay, the same A can be written in different form. Okay, that is called reliant on remembering known signatures. Okay, not reliant on signatures and the common attack pattern also to be identified. And they learn the system and can recognize the suspicious activities. Spam and social engineering detections. NLP, natural language processing, a deep learning technique, can help you to easily detect a deal with the spam. So network traffic analysis, a deep learning ANNs, okay, and showing the promising results. Analyzing the HTTPS hypertext transfer protocol secure to one, the network traffic to look for malicious activities. So this is very useful to deal with the many cyber threats such as SQL injection approaches and DD and DOS attack, or maybe the DDoS attacks also. Okay, and finally, user behavior analytics. So these are all the techniques of related to techniques from machine learning and deep learning to applied in cybersecurity area. So why is it so important to focus on data when it comes to machine learning in cybersecurity? Okay, so the machine learning is about developing the patterns, okay, and manipulating those patterns with algorithms. So in order to develop the patterns, they need a lot of rich data from everywhere, because the data needs to represent as many potential outcomes from as many potential scenario as possible. Okay, that's why again I stick the same paragraph. In order to develop the patterns, pattern means in terms of different pattern, okay, for using by the deep learning pattern, okay, deep learning language, okay. So you need a lot of rich data from everywhere, because the data needs to represent as many potential outcome, okay, to overcome the many potential outcomes from as many potential scenarios as possible. Okay, so it is not just about the quantity of data, it also about the quality. Okay, and finally, the data must have complete and relevant and rich context collected from every potential sources, whether that is the endpoint on the network or in the cloud. Analyzing and improving cybersecurity poses is not a human scale problem anymore. Okay, so in response to these unprecedented challenges, the AI-based tools for cybersecurity have emerged to help information security teams to reduce the breach risk and improve their security forces efficiently and effectively. Okay. Number two, the artificial intelligence and machine learning have become a critical technologies in information security, as they are able to quickly analyze the million of events and identify the many different type of threat. Okay, and from malware exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to identifying a risky behavior that might lead to phishing attack or download of malicious code and all. And third one, these technologies learn over time, coming from the past to identify a new types of attacks now. Histories of behavior build the profiles on users, assets, and networks, allowing AI to detect and respond to deviations from the established laws. Why has machine learning become so critical to cybersecurity? Several reasons. The first reason, with the machine learning, cybersecurity systems can analyze patterns and learn from them to help prevent the similar attacks and respond to changing behavior. Okay. Second point, it can help cybersecurity teams be more proactive in preventing the threats and responding to active attack in the real time. Okay. And third one, it can reduce the amount of time spent on routine tasks and enable the organizations to use their resources more strategically. In short, finally, machine learning can make cybersecurity simpler, more proactive, and less expensive, and far more effective. That's why right now most of the people they are focusing on developing the tools. Okay, with the help of AI means what of ML and DL. Okay, ML and DL to for the in cybersecurity areas. Okay, but it can only do those things if the underlying data that supports the machine learning provide the complete picture of the environment. So as they say, the garbage is in, garbage is out. Now the time is 3:13. Maybe another might need 10 minutes or not more than 10 minutes. Okay, right. So 3:30 can going to finish. Am I right here? So next one, applying AI to cybersecurity. Artificial intelligence is ideally suited to solve some of our most difficult problems. Okay, and cybersecurity certainly falls into that category because of cybersecurity is not like other area, maybe very narrow focused one. So when you apply the AI tool, it's not much more complex. I'm not degrade the one, but a small example. Maybe for in pharmacy line, okay, pharmacy line also they are using for artificial intelligence, especially for the chemical molecular component to mixing together, how they predict the one. Okay, so the AI model automation can help the one. Only the focusing area to be narrow only. Same thing for the surgical part. Surgical one in medical, there the AI systems only focusing on the particular things only. But in networking is not like a narrow path. Networking is a broad view. Okay, because of so many things involved, so many technical also tools also involved. So the developing AI tools also a little bit more critical and more complex. That's why with today's evolving the cyber attacks and proliferation of devices, the machine learning and AI can be used to keep up with the bad guys, automating threat detections, and respond more efficiently than traditional software-driven approaches. Cybersecurity presents some unique challenges. Okay, so these are all the unique challenges currently there. Number one, vast attack surface, and tens or hundred thousands of devices per organizations, hundreds of attack vector, big shortfalls in the number of skilled security professionals, masses of data that have moved beyond the human scale problem. That's why initially I told you, maybe I like to highlight this one. Security is there, And a self-learning AI-based cybersecurity process management system should be able to solve many of these challenges. Okay, so the technologies exist to properly train a self-learning system to continuously and independently gather data from across your enterprise information systems. That data is then analyzed and used to perform a correlations, okay, of probability. There is a correlation efficient of patterns across the millions to billion of signal relevant to the enterprise attack surface. Okay, such a way, these are all the challenges to be fulfilled by the AI with ML techniques. A new level of intelligence feeding human teams across the diverse categories of cybersecurity, including IT asset inventory, is gaining a complete, accurate inventory of all devices, users, and applications with any access to information systems. So the categorizations and measurement of business critically also play a big role in inventory. Okay? And threat exposures is one of the very worst one. I think that the threat thing, okay, from the hackers, maybe hackers are, I'm not tell all the hackers is very bad. No, according to the category of the hackers, okay, even for white hackers is good for everyone to protect and prevent the one. But the very worst one, gray and black hackers. Other hackers also is not much more dangerous one. Okay, so come to the point here. The hackers follow trends just like everyone else. So what is fashionable with the hackers changes regularly. So the AI-based cybersecurity systems can provide up-to-date knowledge of global and industry-specific threats. That is why it's one of the challenging one. Okay, say artificial intelligence-based cybersecurity systems can provide up-to-date, day by day, because of day-to-day. If maybe for until yesterday they identified some of the some list of the viruses and ransom, malware, spyware, everything. But today they will coming new one. So the new one once come over, how to detect and prevent it? Cannot, because of it's a signature based one. That's why they are using for AI techniques. So the AI based techniques, how they help means they use the pattern. Am I right or not? Pattern. Already I told you. If AI already they have in the system itself. So the AI maybe in how many patterns can possible. So the AI systems can detect and observe all the pattern of AI, and whatever the new viruses or whatever the new attack will coming. So this one going to detect and prevent also. Okay, that's why. Yes, yeah. AI-based cybersecurity systems can provide up-to-date knowledge of global and industry. Okay, and specific threats to help make a critical prioritizations decisions. It is a decisions in priority and based not only what would be used to attack your enterprise, but based on what it is likely to be used to attack your enterprise. Control effectiveness. It is important to understand the impact of the various security tools and security process that you have employed to maintain a strong security forces. Okay, and the AI can help understand where your information security programs has strengthened and where it has gap. Okay, that is the control effectiveness must be needed. Where the gap is there and how the information security program and the strength and everything. And the breach risk prediction, accounting for IT asset inventory, the previous one. Okay, maybe I can this one. IT asset inventory. Okay, in IT asset inventory, what? Gaining a complete accurate inventory of all devices, users, applications, web oriented one, and measurement of business critical everything. So yes, so the AI powered systems, okay, to improve the enterprise. Okay, this is finished. Okay, control effectiveness also is right. So accounting for IT asset inventory, the threat exposures and controls effectiveness, the AI-based systems can predict and how and where you are most likely to be breached, so that you can plan for the resource and tool allocation towards the areas of weakness. So that is the breach risk prediction part. And the perspective, okay, prescriptive insights derived from AI analysis can help you and configure and enhance the controls and processes to most effectively improve your organization's cyber resilience. Incident response, AI powered systems can provide improved the context of prioritizations and the response to security alert for fast response to incidents and to surface root causes in order to mitigate the vulnerabilities and avoid the future issues. Explainability. Okay, so key to harnessing AI to an argument human information security teams is explainability of recommendations and analysis. This is important in getting and buy-in from the stakeholders across the organizations for understanding the impact of various information security programs and for reporting the relevant information to all involved stakeholders. So including end users, security operations, and CISO. CISO means that is Chief Information Security Officers, auditors, and Chief Information Officers, and CEO, and Board of Directors, and all. Okay. So AI used by advertisees. So how the adversaries is that? So AI and machine learning can be used by IT security professionals to enforce the good cyber security practices and shrink the attack surface instead of constantly chasing after the malicious activity. So at the same time, the state-sponsored attackers, criminals, cyber gang, and ideological hackers can employ those same AI techniques to defeat the defenses and avoid the detections. So herein lies that is AI cyber security continuum. Okay, so this also happening like that. So as AI matures and move increasingly into the cyber security space, companies will need to guard against the potential downsides of these exciting new technologies. So machine learning and artificial intelligence can help guard against the cyber attacks, but hackers can foil security algorithms by docketing the data, and they train and they are warning fraud, and they look for the hackers can also use AI to break through the defenses and develop the mutating malware that changes its structures to avoid the detections. But the recent surveys like that, even though in most of the European sites and some of the African sites countries, right now the ratio of the hacking programmers may increase gradually from very high level. Okay, that's why generally in the world happening. Okay, which one is not focusable one, which one is not good one, that one only the people always focusing more and more. That's why the hacking part of the one day by day is growing in worse conditions. Okay, right? Without massive volume of data and events, the AI systems will deliver inaccurate results and false positives. If data manipulations goes undetected, what happened? The organization will struggle to recover that correct data that feed into AI systems with potentially disastrous and consequences. Okay, I think that this is all the one finished. Now, I want to share the one. I think that from the internet, okay, so many open source is there. Some may be artificial intelligence based cyber security software, some may be costing one, some of them available for open source, and some of them for trial purpose. Okay, so this one I just refer the one. I'm not promoting the brand. Okay, just easy to learn for you. After the workshop finish, maybe whenever you're free in home, just and happy moment, maybe you can just play with the one also. How to check the domain and everything. I think this is a very interesting one. They are given some 20 days or 15 days. It's a free trial. Okay, so you can use the free trial one, and you may delete everything like this. That's all. Okay, to explore yourself in this area. Okay, so using artificial intelligence in cybersecurity is one of the ultimate guide that is called Score Radar. Okay, so the website address I provided here, https://scoreradar.io, using artificial intelligence in cybersecurity ultimate guide. You can go through this one. Okay, the cyber attack surface in modern enterprise environment is a massive and increasing rapidly. The cybersecurity and intelligence organizations are constantly fighting the most severe risk to the business because of I think that unofficial statement, maybe another 5 years, still how much the protection must be needed, especially for financial transaction way. So the research is going on right now. Okay, we don't know after 5 years anything happen. Nowadays also so many fraudulent, cyber crimes, especially for hacking, particularly on financial one, happening everywhere, every bank, every minute. But those news cannot be published, otherwise people can get some fear or something like this. So this is happening, going on sideways. We are enjoying online transaction, everything, but so many disturbances, so many criminals happen on every day, every hour. Okay, that's why now the industries, now they are get more awareness and looking for how to avoid the one, because of in futures we don't know, the users may be very high and high, so how to avoid the one. Okay, so these are the things, is the current situations right now. So maybe you also can explore the one. That's already I told you, lot of open source available. You may download it, you may practice. Okay, it means that you can practice yourself. Maybe you can protect your computer, your systems. Then maybe you can do any one online based one. That domain may be protected by yourself. Okay, right. It means that analyzing and improving the organization's cybersecurity forces require much more than human interventions. So little bit I can explain this product. Okay, so artificial intelligence, the future of cybersecurity. The artificial intelligence is a technology that is increasing. Computer systems may learn, reason, and act using AI to utilize the vast data sets collected by the sensors, and current technologies threaten the organization's cybersecurity. The security professionals fail at some point, even with the new improvements in defense. Okay, in defense method means what now? Protecting one. And from the vulnerabilities checks to defense, combining the strength of AI in cybersecurity with the skill of security professionals become immensely influential. Organizations benefit from quick insight and the result a faster response time. Therefore, the AI cybersecurity seems to be the new wave in security. Need for AI cybersecurity comes threatening efficiently, forecasting the threat, examining the hazards of the attack efficiently, and improving the security architectures, and monitoring concerns the security behaviors, and handling the false positive results by the rule-based detection systems while dealing with the attacks. Okay, so the false positive results and rule-based detection system means it's one kind of ML-based algorithm used in routing policies. So this brand, the Discover, already explained the brand one, open source. Open source is a free trial available, Scoradar free editions with Discover your unknown hacker exposed asset. you can find out. Check your IP addresses targeted as malicious. Maybe if you want to check your IP addresses, anyone tagged can check it also. Monitor your domain name on hacked websites and phishing sites, phishing databases, and get notified when a critical 0-day vulnerabilities is disclosed. Same way, again I'm repeating now, I'm not promoting one, I'm not the agent for the one. In internet, so many softwares available now, online product one. But among the one, I think this is the one, I think nice one. I used the one also. That's why I given to you. I would like to inform you to trial for you. Okay, it's a free for 12 months. Yes, they are given 12 months. They are given. I think you may enjoy the one. Normally, any just type of the sensitive web-oriented applications, they won't give for 12 months. Okay, so this one they're offering 12 months free for one corporate domain, and 100 auto-discovered digital assets also they provided. So why not? Maybe try today. Okay, so the try for the free one. Link .io free edition. Okay, after 1 year, maybe just throw away. Once you got the knowledge, is more than enough. Am I right? No need to buy. So these are the one. Experience in the edge of extended threat intelligence. Request now to get access. First time, free access, you do the registration first. Okay. Once you have done the registrations, then you are allowable from the website do for 1 year free. Okay. This one for the get free instant test on your security forces, email testing. These are the one for the testing. I think it's too small. Once maybe you can go to the website, you can see the one. Scholar lab. This the lab also you can access. Okay, it's a lab. It's a developing a platform which inform the users about the existing and possible cyber threats with the help of several cyber threat intelligence services. So here. Enter the domain or get your free, so you can practice all the lab also available here. So you can another one more for demo. This is for the demo. Okay, so you can request the one. You will send the demo also. You can watch the demo. Once you done the demo itself, then you may practice your own way of methodologies or guidance. Okay. So this is the one address everything given here. Link. Proceed. Almost I finished now. Now the time also 3:35. Right. So what will you be able to do? Maybe for reasons to frame everything. Maybe you can analyze. So this one for the fraud form results. I think similar. Nothing. In this one once you registered. Okay. This open source one. Example open source one, because of reducing fee. Am I right? So this one, free one, what are the privileges available here? And this one for the paid one, what are the privileges available here? Generally for any softwares, if they promoting purpose, okay, they're given some free for the particular time duration, something like this. For that one, they are given only for few applicables, only they are given. Okay, they are not given full privileges, but the paid one only available to the full privileges. But I think that for practicing ones, I think it's more than enough. Okay. I referred all the information from here, and all. Thank you so much for watching these sessions, and once again, thank you to all, especially for giving the wonderful opportunities today. Because of I got really is a golden opportunity for me, because I am a Gandhigram student 1991-92. Okay, when I came now today to deliver a speech is the gift given by God. So I feel like that. Okay, maybe if you are in features, if you are in the academic line, definitely you feel like that. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. And if you have any question and answers.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask.
I hope you may enjoy the one, right?